Remember being a kid and daydreaming about being a superhero or being the captain of your own spaceship, or maybe being transported into some video game world? Abenobashi Mahou Shoutengai is a lot like that, just with a bit of, what the fuck is this shit?
Shall we?
Yeah. What? Come on.
Abenobashi is the adventure comedy love child of Gainax and Madhouse Studios, about childhood friends Sashi and Arumi living seemingly ordinary lives in the Abenobashi commercial district of Osaka. Their lives take a sudden turn for the strange when they are suddenly flung into various alternate dimensions, each one being a different version of the local shopping arcade in their neighborhood. The duo find themselves in increasingly absurd and wacky scenarios as they try to return to their home universe and uncover the secrets behind the Abenobashi shopping arcade. Besides a few select episodes, this series is a comedy through and through, so I think your enjoyment of it will depend on how well its humor hits its mark with you. It is over the top, full of visual gags, and relies on the wackiness of the alternate worlds featured in each episode. The humor is also emphasized by the signature Gainax slapdash animation style that is showcased during comedic moments. One thing notable about the series is that it is cram-packed with pop culture references. It makes countless nods to many other anime series, films, and their various subgenres. This includes the self-references that Gainax is oh so fond of including. If you have passing familiarity of Gainax's work before 2002, you will definitely be able to pick out a few Easter eggs here and there. I thought the gags were creative and clever at times, but the humor was ultimately hit or miss for me. Sometimes the blisteringly fast-paced slapstick genuinely got a laugh out of me, but some of the gags began to outstay their welcome after being repeated over and over and over again without much variety. If you're a big fan of energetic and referential humor, you'll definitely eat this shit up, but personally, I found some of it to be wearing on me midway into the series. To give a bit more context to the story, both Sashi and Arumi belong to families that have owned long-time businesses in their local area. Sashi's family previously owned a local bathhouse, and Arumi's family owned a French restaurant called the Grill Pelican. However, Abenobashi has seen better days, and many shops and venues of the once bustling shopping arcade are looking to close up shop. The bathhouse is already demolished by the start of the series, and the Grill Pelican is looking to follow suit. Additionally, Arumi's family is moving from Osaka to Hokkaido, leaving the two kids to contemplate the future of their friendship. While still in a slump due to the changes in their lives, Sashi and Arumi see the fabric of reality torn apart, and they are flung into parallel worlds. The first half of this series has our two main characters bumbling around the different worlds they get sent to. Each one is wacky in its own geeky way. Some examples include a fantasy RPG world, a mecha sci-fi, and even a kung fu B-movie, just to name a few. Each universe has them running into recurring personalities. This includes parallel versions of their family members, the scantily clad Mune and the mysterious cloaked man named Eudes. Their romp through each parallel world becomes more poignant as the series begins to spotlight the fact that the two children are using these worlds as a means to escape the problems from their own lives. Abenobashi is trying to make a statement about the importance of nutting up and facing reality. The series does this with a self-deprecating attitude as it mocks or parodies many aspects of different anime genres and hallmarks of otaku entertainment, which is slightly reminiscent of another Gainax work called Otaku no Video. Otaku no Video is a mockumentary that also takes some jabs at otaku culture and even Gainax itself. If anything, I appreciate that Gainax has the self-awareness and sense of humor to include these themes into their work. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the ending, which is, well, it's a classic Gainax ending. The kind that leaves you wondering whether what you just saw was absolutely brilliant or just another case of Gainax getting away with it once again. In short, although the conclusion resolves some key questions raised by the story, it comes so suddenly and out of left field that I think it will leave most viewers confused, bewildered, and probably covered in their own piss. Lastly, it's worth pointing out that the series enjoys taking its time to crack its fair share of jokes while leaving most of the character development to be pushed towards the end. There's actually one episode dedicated to a subplot explaining the events happening in the main story. It dials everything back and exchanges the zany presentation in the first few episodes to something a bit more muted. The tone becomes much more serious in a way that may be too jarring of a shift to some, though it quickly returns to its usual silliness by the next episode. This episode actually turned out to be my favorite. It fleshes out some of the characters, and it intrigued me even more than the main storyline, which leaves me wondering what this series could have been if it had taken this direction from the very start. But since Abenobashi is a comedy at heart, maybe expecting more out of it was just setting myself up for disappointment. All in all, if you're looking for a comedy that doesn't take itself too seriously, has references out the ass, and throws the occasional curveball at you, then Abenobashi Mahou Shoutengai may be what you're looking for. Despite some of my frustrations with the series, I still had fun with it, and although I couldn't classify it as a must-watch, I'd recommend checking it out if you have the time. Until next time, this was That Guy No One Knows, and you just watched a VHS review.